Hi and welcome back to Home with Shelly. I'm Shelly, and today we have a video with 3 nights of our dinners. If you like these kind of videos, please like and subscribe. So starting off our week, I'm making a super simple dinner that I created years ago. We call it cheeseburger macaroni. I'm just grounding up some beef and some onions to go into the meal. This meal is super simple to make and all my kids will eat it, which is really good because you know how toddlers can be sometimes. I usually make this when my husband's working nights because it's just one of those fright night meals when I just need to get dinner on the table and I need my kids to eat. It's just so easy to make. So once you have your ground beef starting to brown up, I usually start boiling my water and add my pasta to it. We're a family of 6, so I usually make 2 boxes. My ground beef is all browned up, so now I'm just adding some seasonings to it to get it some taste. I drained it already from the grease, so it's good to go. I'm just gonna chop up some strawberries and grapes for my toddlers to go with their meal. Me and my son are gonna be having some side salads. One of the other kids isn't here right now, so they can just get whatever side they want with it, as my husband can too when he comes home in the morning. So I've got the pasta strained. I'm just adding my ground beef mixture to this. I'm gonna mix it all up with some ranch seasoning powder. I came up with this when I was a single mom years ago, and this has just carried over through the years. It's one of their favorites. So once I have everything all incorporated, I check to see if it looks like I have enough ranch. If I don't, I'll add some more. And then I'm gonna add the cheese packets. This meal is so super easy. This is definitely like a 20-minute dinner. It is just great for those nights when you're like, I just need to get food on the table and everything's chaotic, which it usually is the nights that my husband is working. So now I'm just making sure that everything is well mixed together. Sometimes it takes some elbow grease to get everything in there, but it's going along. It's almost ready, and I'm about to feed my family. So this is my toddler meals all plated up. Man, did they eat this. They gobbled everything down. They love strawberries and grapes. So on night 2, we had a big winter storm come in, so I decided it was a good soup night. I'll link this recipe down below. It's Asian noodle soup. So we're just starting with chopping up our vegetables. I have some celery here that needed to be chopped. I have several other things that need to be chopped. This meal is definitely more of an hour to an hour and a half. It's not something you should make on the whim, but we were cold, so we decided we wanted some of these. So now I'm just dicing up my carrots. They were at the end of their life, so I really needed to get rid of them. So I'm just gonna dice these all up so that way they can go into our pot. Here I'm dicing up these green onions. Let me tell you, whenever I bought these the other day, because I had literally just bought them like 3 days before, I've never had green onions go bad so quickly. I don't know what happened with them. Now I'm just cutting up some cabbage. I had a heck of a time cutting this cabbage. This cabbage was so hard to cut, but we got through it. So now I'm just going to shred it up just a little bit, and it's going to go into our soup at the very end, but I just want to make sure that everything's done beforehand. Right here, I'm just dicing up the chicken. In the recipe, it does call for the chicken to be thinned out and then put into the pan whole. with the soup and let it boil. I've done that before and I found that it just takes so long to cook and it doesn't cook evenly. So I decided this time around to go ahead and dice it up and see if that was any better. And honestly, I like this method so much more. Whenever you cook it the original way, you cook it in the pan, and then once it's cooked, you go ahead and pull it out and slice it up anyway. So I figured let's go ahead and just skip that middleman and just go ahead, slice it up before we put it in, and it's ready to go. Now that everything's cut up into a pan with some olive oil, I'm just going to add the carrots and celery. I don't think this recipe actually called for celery, but I thought it would be good. I'm just adding some garlic, I'm sorry, ginger puree and then some minced garlic. I don't keep ginger around, so I usually just use puree that I can stick in the fridge and have it for when I need it. And once that's all cooked up, I'm just going to add some water and then stir it around, and then I'm going to add my chicken broth seasoning to it. I don't like buying the cartons of chicken broth. I'd rather just do it this way, and it's always worked for me, so that's what we do. And then I'm going to start adding some soy sauce and some other ingredients. I think it called for about 2.5 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons. Sadie was over there stealing my measuring cup. I had to take that away from her. So then I'm going to be adding some rice vinegar, and then I'm going to be adding some sesame oil. We love sesame oil, so I just added just a dash more because we love the flavoring of it. And then at the end, I'm going to add some sriracha. My children do not mind heat, so you could actually omit the sriracha if you do not like heat at all. And then once all of that is incorporated, I'm going to go ahead and put in my chicken. I'm just going to bring this to a boil for until the chicken's cooked, and then I'm going to be adding the rest of our ingredients. All right, now that the chicken is cooked through, I moved the pan to the back so my toddlers wouldn't get to it. They make me nervous around that. So I'm just adding some sugar, and then I'm going to be adding some mushrooms. And then I'm also just going to stir that and then add in my cabbage. I definitely should have used a bigger pan because this one gets so full by the end. It is so hard to stir, but we make it work, and this is just such a delicious meal. My whole family loves it. The toddlers even love it, which is great. And once I have everything pretty well incorporated, I'm just going to be adding the ramen noodle packets to the mix. It calls for 1 packet of ramen. Honestly, I might even do 3 packs. I did 2 packs here, and I feel like towards the end, my poor husband, when he went to go eat it the next day, there was hardly any ramen left, but he still enjoyed it. So if I could, I'd use a bigger pan and more ramen. This is mine and my son's plates. I take the liquid out of the toddler, so I didn't show that. So this is night 3. Tonight we're going to be having some tacos and some Mexican rice. Right now I'm just making my seasoning mix for my rice. I take a tomato, some onion, some cumin, some chicken bouillon, and some tomato bouillon. And then we're going to add some water to it and blend this right up. And to my pan, I'm just going to add some rice. I'm just going to brown that up in some olive oil until it's nice and golden brown. And once that's all browned up, I'm just adding my sauce mix to it along with some more water. I'm going to mix this up, let it come to a slight simmer, and then once it simmers, I'm going to cover it and turn down the heat and let it cook for 20 minutes. And now for the ground beef, we're just going to add a pound of that to the pan. We're going to brown this all up. Once this is all browned up, we're going to add our taco seasoning mix. We're going to mix it all in there and then add some water. I like to start slowly because you never know when you have too much water. That definitely wasn't enough, so added some more. Let's just go ahead and add all of it. And then I'm seeing that it definitely needs some more seasoning, so I'm just going to add some more seasoning to this as well. And then once I get that all mixed up and the liquid's pretty much well gone, we're pretty much done with the taco meat, and that was super simple. So this is how the rice came out. I do apologize. I did not film the plating of the food, but we needed to get dinner on the table. So if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more, let me know and leave some comments. Thank you.